It's really cloudy. I'm gonna leave my garden inside, I think. Come on. Yeah. Mhm. It's cool. Thank you, ancestors. You can sit out here on the porch if you like. But it's up to you. Is that it? Did you see all of that cat hair? Ugh. Just, I can't do this. No, I got to head up to go get air purifier. Whatever I need to get this cat hair. Ooh, wee. Thank you, ancestors. Where did it come from? I'm going to sit here and wait on two people. Where's our book?
$1,000 weight loss medication.
civil unrest over the murder of George Floyd. This month marks 5 years since his death sparked protests and riots here locally and around the world. There are concerns tonight about new civil unrest over the murder of George Floyd. This month marks 5 years since his death sparked protests and riots here locally and around the world. And the city, county, and state are preparing for new potential protests.
I do not understand for the life of me in totality, especially with people who read this case, understand this case, are knowledgeable about law and order. How do you defend their children?
And I just said it last night.
About this shirt, they love the shirt. Obviously, if you're a 2A supporter, this is a pretty cool shirt. I ain't gonna even lie. It stood out to me when we developed it, but if you want one, we got 20% off, only for my YouTube people or people that hear this ad. 20% off. Just put 2A20, 2 Alpha 20, and you get 20% off this beautiful shirt. Make sure you go on and check out all the incredible merch. And if you're a first responder, if you're active military or retired military, if you're a teacher, a truck driver, all that, we have benefits and discounts for you. Let me show you exactly where it's at. You go right down from the main page, you scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you will see the discounts that are available for you right here. Commercial driver, government assistance, and government assistance means if you are a disability, low income, unemployment, we give you a discount for life. So just go on, click verify, and get the discount. Shout out to you guys, TaylorStore.com, like, subscribe to the channel. Y'all already know what to do. What's going on, y'all? I have to talk about this because, I have a whole slew of videos that I wanted to do today, including Don Lemonhead and his antics and all of the other randomness, leftists that I have to correct on a day-to-day basis. Shout out to Scott Jennings, and also shout out to Speaker Johnson. I'm here in D.C. right now for Police Week, and Speaker Johnson did an incredible time memorializing, or incredible job memorializing police officers that are serving in the line of duty. Officer or Deputy Marshal Weeks, his family gave testimony of
good day,
just their thoughts.
I just saw this video
regarding the death of
right here in Minneapolis
regarding his death.
And I was just saying last night, I don't know how much of
executing a warrant on the guy should have been in prison.
I just seen this literally 2 minutes ago. Here in Minneapolis, Derek Chauvin is getting pardoned. Minneapolis braces Black Lives Matter riots again. Let me try to put this on the YouTube so we can watch it. I've moved from Minneapolis. I'm not in Minneapolis anymore, but and I was just saying last night, I don't know how much of mine, because I was talking over here, cussing and cursing, and was muted the whole time till y'all told me. But and I do apologize because I don't want to waste nobody's time. And if you can't read lips, then it's probably best you don't hear none of what I was saying. I'm just, just laying it like it. I might edit and cut that part off. I might just put it in the title. Scroll on up, fast forward to such and such mark to begin, to listen to the commentary, my commentary and stuff, the lessons, the reading. Because that's literally when I was ready to read after all of that. But yeah, it looks like they trying to get you back in the streets. And I just seen this, but last night I had mentioned, I don't know if it was the part that was muted or not, that the only way we need to get back out there for any type of march and protest and walking in circles, and I'll march with you, I'll protest with you, I'll go the distance. For some, we all will, but not for other people, not for other people's agendas, not other people's routes. We don't need to be doing that. Now, if our people in position, and I mean our people that's reached that pinnacle, that motherfucking pinnacle. I don't care if it's the political pinnacle, however you want to phrase it. Not just your common people that's putting together these events. Ain't nobody gave nobody no elbow vest, no chest vest, no knee braces, to protect somebody. Don't get your asses out there. This right here is just another setup. Another setup to go on and get you out there. So use your discernment. If you is finna get out here because Derek Chauvin is getting out, use your discernment. Who else is out there with your ass? Just ask yourself. I ain't saying don't go, and I ain't saying go. But for me, if I don't see them motherfuckers that's done reach them highest pinnacles, be it educational, financial, political, celebrity, so bless you, we're gonna make a new word out of they motherfucking asses. They motherfucking asses ain't out there putting their lives on the line too. Then why you got to stay at home and do your revolution the way you've been shown how to do it? Those that feel like, yeah, I buy my own goddamn vest, let them buy it. They using their discernment too. But don't just follow folks out here because this agenda is being set in place for you, Black America. All of it is. Every last bit of it is. Everybody motherfucking asses knew. Even if I ain't even talked to your damn ass, you knew what it was about George, about Philando, about Jamar Clark. You knew what it was. Now you sat there and you looked at everything and you chose what you want to select. There it is in my face. And now it's finna be in your face. Now you're trying to bring it around again. Police brutality is not no local. I got a blaring over here. Let me check it out. Because I just seen this. But I need you, Black America, to know what it is. Oh, look at sister. Look at my sister. Okay, let me just tell her, okay, I will. Whatever I got to do, I will. I'll look at it. I'll listen to it, check it out. But I want you to know, Black America. And good day, Elijah. Good day. It's good to see you. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for your presence and your patience. I ain't even going to keep y'all long. We ain't got but 6 pages to read, and we done with more dirty little secrets. But I just seen that they are planning to pardon Derek Chauvin here in Minneapolis. And it looked like Minneapolis braces for Black Lives Matter riots again. Everything we've been through. All right, go ahead. Do it. Do you fight? I can't tell you how to fight. We can't tell each other how to fight this. I'm just saying use discernment. Ain't nobody going to get you out there. And don't take the babies. Don't take your babies out there. You know you vulnerable, weak. You hobbling around and stuff. Don't take your ass out there because you're going to need a quick getaway. You're going to need a quick getaway. They're going to release him. He going to be out there. He's still going to be released if they're going to do it. So use your discernment if you do go. And in my opinion, tell everybody else get their motherfucking ass out there too. Your ass been on a goddamn board. Every last one of them that's gonna reach them highest pinnacles. Tell them their asses need to be out there also. On the first line. On the front line. Not mixed in with the people. Not behind the people. Not here and there sitting in their cars, riding through, or you come through for 20 minutes. Now, your ass need to be on the front line that this shit is wrong and it ain't gonna happen no more. You ain't finna hurt nobody no more. If you do, it's finna be your people on the front line. It's finna be your people in position. Stop letting them lead us, Black people, out here, and it ain't been no changes made now. I ain't saying nothing. I'm so sorry, Sister Danette Chambers. I've been trying to ask you, can I show us? But you came on one day and mentioned my name. I tried to ask you then, but I'm going to have to do it now because this just showed up in my face, and then I won't no more. But I just want to let people know because I done fell off and got out of it too. Yeah. I done redirected my focus and my attention to my people, my ancestors, to be exact. But I want y'all to know for everything else that you're looking at, yeah, I'm peeping that too. And for police brutality, it ain't no local problem. It's a national problem. I can't even say for all of my knowledge, going to 11th grade ain't taught me a motherfucking thing. I can't even say police brutality is an international problem. Ain't in some country they ain't even got guns. But I digress though. America got a motherfucking problem, and it's national. All over this country, it's national. Police brutality is. You can't do nothing locally. You're going to have to reach out nationally and do this. Everybody else. This right here is about the only sign you will see me holding when I be out there with their asses. Ain't nobody, ain't too many. I can't even say not even one person, maybe, other than just talking to me. Because it's more than just, fight this for this minute. Fight for this minute. Set these up, put these band-aids on. This more than just putting on some band-aids. This is facing the issue. Ain't nobody ready for Sister Danette. Go look up. Go sign it. Anybody that's here, you see this, and then you can leave. You ain't got to come back. You don't have to come back here no more. But if you're going to be in this for us, take them little small steps. Yeah, I know it's going to ask you for your information and stuff, but hell, they got everything anyway. America done sold every goddamn thing anyway. But for this right here, honey, you better use discernment. But for police brutality, this is it right here. This is it. Go sign it. Sister Danette Chavis. Listen to her. Learn about her. Follow her. Because we need it. These other systems. New Era Detroit. Look them up. They patrolling their communities and stuff, y'all. Let me read this copyright disclaimer. Because y'all know the Black Panther Party left that self-defense plan so that black people will be out here patrolling, protecting, keeping an eye out, providing for our own communities. Why is it in everybody else's hands but us? Anybody that want to use it. They got it. We ain't got it. We ain't using it. I think New Era Detroit using it. I hope they using it. Then we got the new Black Panther Party. We do have our exceptions to the rule. I ain't saying we don't have our exceptions to the rule. But overall, everybody else got our stuff. Everybody else got it. Now, look, they trying to ease your ass back out there now. Again, to march again. You better use your discernment. Use your discernment. That's all I'm saying. Don't be no fool and no dummy. No, honey, this right here should let you know this is never ending with them. I never knew a grudge this long. On the people, my people, right here on this land. Other people done been through hell right here in America, but not like this. Not like this, like us in America. And it's still continuing. And it's like now everybody's in on it. Everybody in on it, black people. Let me read this copyright disclaimer because I think we need to watch this video. I know we do. Yep. And I just refocus myself for my people and my ancestors. It just came up right here. It just came up and I was like, wow, for real? I heard something about it, but I wasn't really sure. A while ago, I guess he was contemplating it. Rumpus was. I don't know. But you better start using your discernment and stuff. Yeah, start using your discernment. Then you seen at this last rally and stuff, the sisters that was out there, out of all them damn people, they ended up going to jail. I digress. Just use your discernment. Be where you're supposed to be. Focus on what you need to be focusing on for you, your family, your babies, making sure they're going to be able to survive whatever coming through. You're going to be able to help them and stuff. Because if you get caught up in some shit, you ain't. You ain't. And let me see, how long is this video? It ain't very long. We ain't got like 6 pages to read anyway. Copyright disclaimer under 107. Copyright disclaimer under 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news, support, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Now, see, I'm finna turn my whole little desk around, my whole little table. And you know I don't like to do this, but I'm finna go on and do it. Do the YouTube thing, you know. Let me take my glasses off so I can see here. Let me see. You go to this. I know, right? I'm like, you go to this and go to this. Yeah, these motherfuckers keep testing, honey. Spirit come through. They just keep testing us and testing us. Black America. Why am I not getting it on here? The parent of all people. Okay. The Officer Tatum. That's the name of the channel. I'm not familiar with it. With that channel. But my brother is telling us what we need to know. I'm not technical. No, I love books. I love books, pen and paper. I had put in the whole title, y'all, just to get to it if it works. That's it right there. Yes, honey, I love the pen and the paper. I think we want to. No. Now I found it. But hold on. Now I got to be able to get it over there. So let me go back to StreamYard. And how do you share the screen again? No, that's not it, Face. Share the screen. Okay. I think I'm doing it. Bam. Bam. That's when you're you're getting it right and stuff. Bam, bam, bam. Okay, let me see. I got this. Go back to StreamYard. Oh, is this it? Yes! It did it!
I do not understand.
There are concerns tonight about new civil unrest over the murder of George Floyd. This month marks 5 years since his death sparked protests and riots here locally and around the world. And the city, county, and state are preparing for new potential protests.
I do not understand for the life of me in totality, especially with people who read this case, understand this case, are knowledgeable about law and order. How do you defend Derek Chauvin? All right, ladies and gentlemen, everybody's asking me about this shirt. They love the shirt. Obviously, if you're a 2A supporter, this is a pretty cool shirt. I ain't gonna even lie. It stood out to me when we developed it, but if you want one, we got 20% off only for my YouTube people or people that hear this ad. 20% off. Just put 2A20, 2 Alpha 20, and you get 20% off this beautiful shirt. Make sure you go on and check out all the incredible merch. And if you're a first responder, if you're active military or retired military, if you're a teacher, a truck driver, all that, we have benefits and discounts for you. Let me show you exactly where it's at.
Y'all hear that?
You go right down from the main page, you scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you will see the discounts that are available for you right here. Commercial driver, government assistance, and government assistance mean if you are a disability, low income, unemployment, we give you a discount for life. So just go on, click verify, and get the discount. Shout out to you guys. TatumStore.com, TatumStore.com. Like and subscribe to the channel. Y'all already know what to do. What's going on, y'all? I have to talk about this because, I have a whole slew of videos that I wanted to do today, including Don Lemonhead and his antics and all of the other mindless leftists that I have to correct on a day-to-day basis. Shout out to Scott Jennings, and also shout out to Speaker Johnson. I'm here in D.C. right now for Police Week, and Speaker Johnson did an incredible job memorializing police officers that have served in the line of duty. Officer or Deputy Marshal Weeks, his family gave testimony of, just their thoughts and concerns regarding the death of, it was his wife, regarding his death. Her husband who died in the line of duty executing a warrant on the guy should have been in prison for 100,000 years before he ever made contact with police. But anyway, I just want to give a quick shout out. Now let's get into this real quick. Derek Chauvin has come up in the news again because there is a potential or a rumor that Donald Trump may pardon Derek Chauvin.
There are concerns tonight about new civil unrest over the murder of George Floyd. This month marks 5 years since his death sparked protests and riots here locally and around the world. And the city, county, and state are preparing for new potential protests. Jay Coles is here to explain why. Jay?
Yeah, Kevin, multiple sources tell me there are two things driving this. First, in recent weeks, we've seen calls from conservative commentators for President Trump to pardon Derek Chauvin. Second, sources tell me the city of Minneapolis is almost certain the Department of Justice next week will move to end its consent decree over the MPD because it's happened in other cities. So preparations are happening now, just days before the 5th anniversary of George Floyd's murder. This is what Minneapolis looked like after former MPD officer Derek Chauvin killed George Floyd. And it's something state and city leaders do not want to see happen again. I spoke with 6 total sources today. They tell me Governor Tim Walz, the Minnesota National Guard, Attorney General Keith Ellison, Mayor Jacob Fry, and Hennepin County Sheriff DeWanna Witt have all been briefed on a potential Chauvin pardon and the possible end to the federal consent decree that called for extensive reform at MPD. And tonight, law enforcement is now preparing for possible civil unrest if those two things happen. Mayor Fry is not talking about those plans, but as Commissioner of Community Safety, Todd Barnett, in a statement says, quote, "We've heard the same rumors as everyone else, but the bottom line is that Derek Chauvin would remain behind bars serving his state sentence even if his federal charges are pardoned. To be clear, we have no credible intelligence about any pardon or planned disruptions here in Minneapolis." Sources tell me the Minnesota Department of Corrections would be ready to take Chauvin from a federal penitentiary in Arizona to Oak Park Heights maximum security prison here in Minnesota. Attorney General Ellison telling MSNBC over the weekend, Chauvin's not going free.
He still owes Minnesota 22 and a half years, and he's going to do it either in Minnesota or somewhere, but he's not getting out.
Then on Monday, Governor Walz told reporters,
no indication whether they're going to do it or not, but I think it behooves us to be prepared for it with this presidency, that it seems like that might be something they would do.
And in March, White House reporters asked Trump if he would pardon Chauvin.
Your allies are calling on you to pardon Derek Chauvin. Are you considering pardoning Derek Chauvin?
No, I haven't even heard about it.
Now, I want to say this unequivocally. If you see this, share this. I've already written a letter to Donald Trump, and I've given it to Speaker Johnson's staff, and hopefully he can pass it along. I'm going to write and try to send it to anybody that I can to get to President Trump with this message. And the message has nothing to do with Derek Chauvin. It has everything to do with Brett Hankison. And Brett Hankison was an officer in the Breonna Taylor case who's now facing federal charges for depriving Breonna Taylor's civil rights while she's dead.
And now we go to our top story. Jurors have found former LMPD detective Brett Hankison guilty of violating Breonna Taylor's civil rights during a botched raid at her apartment.
Our Alexis Matthews was there as that verdict came in late last night. She's breaking down this morning what happened inside the courtroom and how Taylor's family is reacting to that news.
This week, we're hosting a free trading and investing workshop right here in Minneapolis. Inside this workshop, you'll learn you don't need to be a Wall Street pro to trade like one.
Trying to get us where it hurts. You better use your discernment, Black America.
It's been a long 13-day trial against Brett Hankison, and Friday was arguably the longest, with jurors deliberating until sundown. But they were eventually able to reach a split verdict, acquitting Hankison on one civil rights charge, but finding him guilty on the most serious of the two, violating Breonna Taylor's civil rights. Now, this is the first conviction for any officer involved in the deadly Breonna Taylor raid in 2020. Prosecutors successfully convinced jurors that Hankison put lives at risk when he blindly shot 10 times into Taylor's apartment. He was acquitted on charges that he violated Taylor's neighbor's civil rights, but we could tell that jurors did not reach any of these verdicts easily. In fact, jurors cried when Hankison's guilty verdict was read in court. And emotions also ran high for Breonna Taylor's mother, who has fought for justice for her daughter for over 4 years, as Taylor and the city of Louisville became the center of social justice movements in 2020. Tamika Palmer spoke to the media outside the courthouse after, and her reaction was thank God. And inside that courtroom, there was a moment where she locked eyes with a U.S. attorney after the verdict was read, and she explained that was about gratitude for prosecutors.
After the first one, I think we all was just beat down so bad, nobody knew where to turn or what to think. But they reassured me that they wasn't going to give up and that they would be here as long as I was willing to be here. And they did just that.
Hankison, who is facing life in prison, was not immediately taken into federal custody. His sentencing hearing date is set for March 12th at 10 a.m. And Taylor's family says this fight for further justice and accountability for Breonna Taylor is not over. 3 other officers, also federally charged for their role in the raid, relevant to the search warrant, could learn their fate as soon as next year. In downtown Louisville, I'm Alexis Matthews, WOKY News.
Thank you, Alexis. This moment was more than 4.5 years in the making.
So we thought we'd take a look at how we got here. In March of 2020, Louisville Metro Police executed a no-knock warrant at Taylor's apartment. Her boyfriend, Kenneth Walker III, exchanged gunfire with police. Taylor was shot and killed during that exchange, and Hankison was the only officer indicted in connection with the shooting. His first federal trial ended in a hung jury, and that's what led us to this second trial.
Because he didn't even hurt nobody. Nobody died as a result of his action. Nobody was hurt as a result of his action. He had nothing to do with Breonna Taylor's death. By and large, he didn't hit her with a bullet. He didn't almost hit her with a bullet. He didn't hit a neighbor with a bullet. Nobody was in danger by his actions. And he could face life in prison because of what? Because she was black and he's white and they couldn't get any of the other officers on any charges. So they just blamed it on Brett Hankison. That's a shame. So I wrote Donald Trump because I want him to be pardoned. That's a pardon that's deserving. Now let's talk about Derek Chauvin. I do not understand for the life of me in totality, especially with people who read this case, understand this case, are knowledgeable about law and order. How do you defend Derek Chauvin?
If we are issuing pardons, however, there is one person that President Trump should pardon from federal charges forthwith. It would be incredibly controversial, but I think that it's absolutely necessary. That person is Derek Chauvin. President Trump should, in fact, pardon Derek Chauvin. He should. He should pardon him his federal charges.
Thank you, Press Secretary Leavitt. Some prominent Trump supporters have been making the case that Derek Chauvin deserves a pardon. They argue that he did not receive a fair trial. Joe Biden and other Democrats actually implied that he was guilty while the trial was going on. BLM rioters had these jurors under immense threat and pressure. Mainstream media, frankly, many news outlets here today are complicit here. They chose to ignore the autopsy report. They chose to ignore the full body camera footage. They decided to slander Derek Chauvin as a racist cop instead. Does the administration believe Derek Chauvin received a fair trial, and will they consider a pardon moving forward?
The president has been asked and answered this question. He said it's not something he's considering at this time. Philip.
Thank you.
How do you request that he should be pardoned on any level at any opportune time? And the reason I say this is because you guys know I advocate for law enforcement officers. I advocate for police officers every single day of my life. And when they write, most of the time I'm covering when they write and they're accused of being wrong. But this time, obviously, because it was one of the biggest cases in the nation's history, I had to speak about my thoughts, even when I thought the cop was wrong. I think Derek Chauvin was wrong. Derek Chauvin's actions were selfish. They were negligent, and they hurt a lot of people. Yeah, was the kneeling on the neck department protocol? In part, yes. They do teach you to kneel on the neck, but just because they teach you to kneel on the neck don't mean you should be excessive. In my department, you can put a person in a chokehold if it's life and death situation, but you can't do it. The policy is appropriate, but you can't do it because you're mad at somebody. You can't hold them for 10 minutes in the chokehold. It's only in an action to subdue somebody if you're in a deadly force situation. The kneeling on the neck, it's only to control a person who's resisting arrest, and this is a means in which you can control their upper body. Wherever the head goes, the body goes. So kneeling on the back shoulder And potentially, back shoulder, back of the head of a person is a way in which they were trained. So are we. Not kneeling on the neck, but kneeling on the back shoulder is a way that you can control the body. If you can't move your upper body up, you can't pick your legs up. However, in Derek Chauvin's case, and we're going to get to the law in a minute because people think he's charged with something that he's not charged with. And I'm going to explain his charges. But, in Derek Chauvin's case, George Floyd is handcuffed with his hands behind his back. He has an officer on his legs and an officer on his torso. And Derek Chauvin is on his upper body neck. Now he's on George Floyd, and George Floyd begins to complain that he can't breathe. Now, it doesn't matter if you think he's faking or not. It doesn't matter if you think he's being legitimate or not. You have, and we are trained to do this. Every officer in America would agree with me. We are trained to assess a person if they're complaining of complications. Why? Because if they are high on drugs, if they are experiencing a medical complication, you are supposed to address it so they don't die. Are we clear? You can put your knee on a person's neck. They could be going through an overdose. But if you don't give an effort to attend to them, put them in a recovery position, render aid, which we're taught to do every academy across the country, then you're going to find yourself in a whole bunch of that you shouldn't be in. Let's talk about the charges real quick, because I think people are thinking that Derek Chauvin is charged with intentionally killing George Floyd, because a lot of people are making an argument, well, he didn't die from he died from an overdose. He died from an overdose. Well, they're not charging him with intentionally killing George Floyd. They're charging him with unintentionally killing George Floyd. Let's talk about the charges. Second degree unintentional murder, which is Minnesota statute, if you want to look it up, 609.19, subsection 2, and also 1. Subsection 2, the first line, okay? It says the definition of the charge, second degree unintentional murder, is causing the death of another person without intent to kill while committing or attempting to commit another felony. And I'll talk about the other felony here. The elements of this crime is that the defendant caused the death of another person. Yes. Would we determine that? Yeah, he was a contributing factor to the death of George Floyd. I don't know how anybody said he wasn't a contributing factor. It is not even close, in my opinion, to say that if you look at the situation, you say, if Derek Chauvin hadn't had George Floyd in that position, would George Floyd still be alive? It's a good possibility he would, because why? His body wouldn't have gone through the stress of resisting arrest and none of that stuff, and which caused him to go down to a fatal cardiac incident. And then Chauvin didn't even get off of him after he passed away and died and peed himself. He still stood on him. He never showed any signs of trying to help the guy. All right, let's continue. The death occurred during the commission or attempted commission of a felony. In this case, the felony is third degree assault. We'll get to that. The defendant did not intend to cause death. So Derek Chauvin didn't have to intend to kill him, meaning that he didn't want to kill him. He wasn't trying to kill him, but he was negligent and it caused his death. Third degree murder, Minnesota statute 609.195, subsection A, causing the death of another person pertaining to an act eminently dangerous to others or in evincing a deprived mind without regard for human life. Okay, the defendant caused the death of another person. There, the act was eminently dangerous to another person. Yes, if a person is ODing and you got 3 people on his back and he's complaining that he can't breathe and that he's going through possibly a cardiac incident, and you just lay on him and don't even attend to him not 1 second. You don't look at him, you don't talk to him, you don't assess whether or not he's actually going through a cardiac incident. You meet the description here in this subsection. The act was committed with the deprived mind without regard for human life. That means that since the fact he didn't even check on George Floyd, they considered him to have a deprived mind. This is why he lost in court. If he had done one thing, he would not have gone to jail. If George Floyd had made a complaint and he said, hey, y'all, get up. Let's roll him into a recovery position. And if he started resisting, we just get back on him. But everybody in the world will see him resist. Everybody in the world will see the reason why they had to get back on him the way they did. But you roll him into a recovery position. If he begins to die after you've made an effort
to show
to put him in a
humanity.
recovery position, and even maybe start conducting CPR if he goes unconscious. You will never go to jail for this. But because he did nothing, he didn't even look at George Floyd, is the reason how he got in trouble. The defendant did not intend to cause death, right? So both of those charges, you do not have to have intent to cause death. Okay. The prosecution contended that Chauvin a prolonged resistance of Floyd, despite clear signs of distress, demonstrating a deprived mind regarding human life. Let's do the other note, because I didn't show you guys the note of second-degree murder, which is the first charge. Prosecutors argued that Chauvin's act of kneeling on Floyd's neck constituted felony assault, leading to Floyd's death, even though there was no intent to kill. There was no intent to kill. All right, let's go to the next one. Second-degree manslaughter. Negligent cause. I don't want to give the code. You can look it up. Negligent cause of the death of another by creating an unreasonable risk and consciously taking chances of causing death or great bodily harm. Okay? What are the elements of crime here? The defendant created unreasonable risk, which is unreasonable to kneel on somebody and have 2 or 3 officers on a guy whose hands are behind his back, who you know is already a crackhead, a drug dealer, a drug user. Okay? The defendant consciously took chances of causing death or great bodily injury. That means that when a man is saying, I can't breathe, that's showing signs of distress, and you are taking a chance and hoping that he's joking or hoping that he's unserious, you're falling in the statute. The defendant's negligence resulted in another person's death. That's what it is. The prosecution said that Chauvin failed to respond to Floyd's plea, and his continued use of force were present as evidence of culpable negligence. That means that he's consciously aware of what he was doing. Now, Donald Trump, and this is the part where everybody's talking about, he's already found guilty. Trump cannot pardon him on the charges that I just explained. The pardoning charges are the federal charges of violating George Floyd's civil rights. Now, Chauvin pled guilty to this charge. It's not that they found him guilty in the court after he articulated why he's innocent. Chauvin was found guilty, or no, he pled guilty. So therefore, why are we gonna attempt to pardon somebody who already admitted to guilt? And I do think, in part, if he's guilty of all these charges on the state level, then he is guilty of depriving George Floyd's civil rights. It's a no-brainer. And this is why I think it's absolutely ridiculous for Trump to even consider pardoning Chauvin. Chauvin is not the person. Brett Hankison is the person, right? That means a man was on the scene executing a warrant in good faith, and as soon as they breached the door, the suspect inside began to shoot and shot Sergeant Manley. He goes down in the doorway with a leg wound. They return fire. Brett returns fire to defend his officers and their safety. Nobody took a bullet. Nobody was hit. Nobody was injured. Nobody was hurt. Now, how are they articulating that he violated someone's civil rights? How are they articulating that? Breonna Taylor was dead. You can't violate the civil rights of a dead person. And if you argue that she may or may not have been dead during the shooting, how do you know? They really don't have an accurate determination of potentially which shot came first or which shot was the fatal shot. They really don't know. So if there's a reasonable doubt, then you have to acquit somebody. So if there's any doubt that the bullets had nothing to do with depriving her of her civil rights, or she could have been dead or dying or unconscious while he's shooting in the house, then they have to acquit the man. So Donald Trump should pardon him, not Derek Chauvin, 100%. And I know that people are going to be mad at me for saying this. Some of y'all are going to be mad at me for saying it. These two things can be true at the same time. Ultimately, he died from an overdose. That could be true. But also Chauvin's lack of attentiveness, lack of concern, lack of support. We don't know. He could have done CPR on George Floyd. He could have rolled him into a recovery position, which could have helped George Floyd recover quicker or not go down as fast, could have prolonged his overdosing until medical staff got there. That could have saved his life. But Chauvin violated so many policies and procedures and training of law enforcement. It's absolutely mind-blowing. And so I don't think a man like that did what he did should be pardoned. To be honest, all the other officers that were associated with this case should be pardoned, if anything. They didn't do absolutely nothing, and his actions got them sent to prison. So that's my take on it. This wasn't a part of the videos I was going to do today, but Brett Hankinson should be pardoned, not Derek Chauvin. And I'm going to send the letter to more and more people as I can. I sent it to Speaker Johnson's office. I'm going to try to get the president because if there's going to be any talks of pardoning, it should be Hankinson from Kentucky's PD. Is it Kentucky? I forget where they're at. I think they were in Kentucky. It's been so long, I kind of forgot. All right. I love you guys. I appreciate you. I'll see you in the next one. I'm out.
And yeah, Brianna was in Kentucky. I'm still saying. And yeah, Brianna was in Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky. Yeah, we got South today later. And I just want to say about that still, don't let them rope-a-dope your ass out there. Because all of these sabotages, all of these holes being placed, is just to get you where they want you. That's all. That's all, just to get you hopscotch. Get you to play hopscotch with them. Yeah, you don't know which one you ain't supposed to make when you playing hopscotch. You don't know how you don't know which one you ain't supposed to make. They setting all of them up for you. They setting every last one of them up for you. They gonna do what they want to do anyway. The pen and the paper. The pen and the paper is where we striking back now. Building our garden, becoming self-sufficient, learning, teaching our babies, looking out for us. I'm not saying don't go when it comes out again and stuff. Prosperity. But if you do go, and you is out there, take the truth out there with you. All this marching around, walking and shit, everybody need to be assisting Sister Danette Chavis against police brutality. For the love of people, it's self-explanatory. It's a national problem. You need a national action. You got one. You got one. No, everybody want to. Is it raining? Because you know I want to catch some of it. Everybody want to prolong the fight. Oh, we want to help. We assist. And we fighting a good fight. Ain't nobody giving us the strategies that we need. Yes, it's raining. Thank you, my ancestors. I can't wait to catch the rain. It's cold out here too, honey. I'm glad I brought my vegetables in. But yes, it's raining. That's fine. It's a little chilly out there too. But I just want to say, don't let them rope you out there. And you ain't ready and stuff. You're not prepared. First of all, it never even dawned on me that everybody out there should have on some protective gear. Everybody should have on some protective gear. I ain't saying don't, use the grants, all over the country and stuff. We do, we go all out and help each other with diapers and household necessities and paying bills and stuff. We help out where we can with the grants and stuff. But you're also supposed to be getting people that's out there. And I wasn't but a protester a few years. Some of the folks I met been out there for decades protesting. Honey, spent their whole youth protesting, fighting a good fight. I'm just saying, everybody was supposed to have on protective gear being out there. But at that time and stuff, I didn't even really consider that nobody had on protective gear out there. And then during George Floyd, because all of them were some intense, emotional protests. Every last one of them are. And then with George Floyd, it seemed like it exacerbated the violence did from the police more than it had been during previous protests and stuff with the rubber bullets and because George Floyd all of them was stood in solidarity with other states and stuff, of course. because that's how it works and stuff. But it got to be where the people that you had out there didn't have any protection for them. Didn't have no protection for them. And only was just standing up for right. And nobody still ain't mentioned Sister Danette Chambers. Why we ain't on change.org? Give a signature. Donate some money. Let everybody know. And now here we are just staring us right in the face again. But even if they do pardon him, his name might be okay pardoned out here, but his ass gonna still be sitting in prison. Use your discernment. I'm okay with his name. I was so fucking what he pardoned his ass still in jail. His ass is still locked up. So that's, there's me using my discernment. But if you do, like I was saying last night, I don't know if it's part of that was muted or what. But if you do get out there and stuff, and I said it earlier too, make sure your people and peers, I don't know, those that you look up to and stuff, make sure their asses is out there with y'all. Make sure they motherfucking asses is out there with y'all. And matter of fact, since they the ones that pretty much reached them financial pinnacles, they need to come with some protective gear for people. You need protective gear on while you out there and stuff. It's a new day. Elevate yourself. Everything got to elevate, even that. It's just time. But you go to change.org. You type in National Action Against Police Brutality / Danette Chambers. And see, I just write on a piece of paper my grandbaby's tools and stuff. This right here might be some back of their coloring books. Or I flip the coloring book inside out, make that laminated with Scotch tape, and I got my sign right here. Got my sign. I ain't saying Black Lives Matter don't matter, but I am saying it haven't served us what it need to been serving us. To be so simply put, everybody understood it. It resonated with everybody. Everybody was on code with it. Even folks that just came outside and stuff. I don't even come outside around people. I can't stand people. But they know, yeah, Black Lives Matter. But Black Lives Matter didn't serve us. Sure didn't, honey. It didn't step up and say, hey, we need a national action against police brutality. It didn't stand up and say, hey, we support Black people patrolling, protecting, providing for their own communities. Ain't nobody even touched that with a 10-foot pole. And we was on our way. Well, y'all was on y'all way because I ain't been here but, like a week. White folks just been on this planet for like overnight. I'm just saying, I've been in Minnesota for almost 20 years and stuff. And then I protested after I made it here and stuff. But y'all Minnesotans was already well on y'all way to us being able to patrol ourselves, protect ourselves, provide for ourselves. We look out in our community, come outside in the summertime, the fall, the wintertime, and who we see patrolling us. We see our brothers, our fathers, our sisters, our cousins that done grew up and matured, and they love their communities, and that's what they spent their life doing, becoming those that patrol and protect. I don't even like the word police no more because it's associated with them, but it's so ingrained. It's like it's needed, it's normal, and it ain't. It's not, but it still can be salvaged. Just send all their motherfucking asses to white folks' communities. I don't know, time is of the essence. You got maybe a year and a half, maybe 2 years before the robots come out. I don't know. You should have been doing this shit, but nobody want to face it. Nobody want to talk about it. Nobody want to, oh no, this going to change everything. I'm sure some motherfuckers was guessing about it. Oh yeah, I already know. Your motherfucking asses. But what? Well, it's a good idea. We should probably look into it. Now, that's going to change everything. We doing good how we doing now. We doing right by Black people how we doing now. We getting grants. We standing up fighting with them, fighting for them. We're coming out, taking care of our communities. Fuck that bullshit. We supposed to be making sure people live. Y'all supposed to be making sure people live, not perpetrating this bullshit. And everything is against black people. Go on and say it. That's what it is. Y'all upholding it because it's all strategized against black people. Everything. Use your discernment. Shit, if anybody go out there, let their motherfucking asses go out there by their goddamn self. Because now, honey, we fighting back a different way. Some of us. We fighting back a different way. Yeah, you know, whatever happened and stuff, you know, it's going to happen. But just use your discernment with which way you going with it. Because trust me, you wouldn't mind going the long way around. As long as you come out of it. Then when you look back here, you don't know who you got. Well, let me help you. I told you, let me help you. Come on, put your arm around me. Let me help you limp over here. Sit down. You want some water? You need some water? Because you done went the long way around. Use your discernment. You ain't got to go work the way everybody else going. Don't you see everybody going with white America? Everybody going that way. Don't make no motherfucking sense. This whole goddamn shebang. Yeah. Spirit come through. Spirit come through. Yeah. Vengeance belongs to my ancestors too. Yep, I know the Bible teaches us vengeance belongs to the Lord. It belongs to my ancestors too. Ain't nothing your mind or your Bible about that. That right there, what I just said, vengeance belongs to my ancestors too. Ain't nothing this Bible right here can tell me about vengeance that belongs to my ancestors, that this Bible right here won't stand up and say, hey, hold on a minute now. Hold on a minute now. You got your Bible and I got mine. I got mine, baby. Yes, honey. You better get your mind right, Black America. Everything that's been misinterpreted on us, you either take the time, if you got it, you either take the time and sort it out, or you start from scratch. Hey, it's up to you. Time is of the essence now. This is the end of this bullshit. Yes, this is the end of it. And my ancestors said because it's time. It's time for them. Every last one of them. Yeah, my Bibles. Black Bibles. Yours, you got yours, and I got mine. Honey, you got to elevate. You must elevate. I ain't saying you got to put it down. Put it under your arm. You got two of them. Then keep this one right here too. You know, although if I was you and I couldn't let this go yet, you will be able to though. Just start getting your black Bibles, honey. I have a whole heap of black Bibles under my arm. And that one little bitty Bible right there, what you think? Start thinking for yourself, Black America. Because I truly don't know what the future going to look like. I truly don't. I can't imagine. I don't guess any of us can. People thinking it's going to be entertaining. People thinking it's going to be comfortable. It's going to be fun. I don't know. I guess people think that the movie Fifth Element, as close as it gets to liking and accepting the new world of robots and stuff, the new world order, flying cars and all that bullshit. I guess people think it's going to be lighthearted like that, but that was about war. Hell, that damn movie was about war. It just made it seem lighthearted. But trust you, this ain't the society, reality, future we need. It ain't, y'all. Not for us. Now. And the world, the planet is big enough. White folk can do that over there. Yep, they can do that over there. The airwaves and stuff. Take your flying cars and your robotic dogs and your humanoid robots and go back to your land. And y'all do that there. Stay within your airwaves. You know, your airwaves that you're supposed to be in and stuff, because the rest of the world, we don't want to be a part of this and stuff. So that's why we got to start voicing it and saying it. That no, this ain't for us. Yep. I don't know. It's just going to come a time. Either you might as well go on and do it now, because you're going to have to do it sooner or later anyway. We're going to have to either accept it. You're going to have to accept it or not. And you might as well go and get used to it right today. Make your mind up whose side you on. What do you stand for? Whose side are you on, Black America? What do you stand for? Do you stand on the side of justice? And you know, your religion and stuff, you're just going to have to set that in a place where you can face it wholeheartedly, face to face. And you're going to have to be able to ask yourself, in your higher power, can I seek the truth as I need to look at it so I can make these decisions? It's very critical. It's very critical. But honey, yes, don't let this right here, get you worked up and get your ass out there. And then you realize, oh, shit. Yeah, I'm in the wrong place. I'm in the wrong place. Don't do that to yourself. That's what they want Black America to do. Yep, that's what they want here. If they had their way, they'll release every goddamn body. Yep, all of them that's done murdered and killed Black people. If they had their way, yeah, they would. And that's all I got to say about that. Don't be no fool and no dummy. And anybody that's like, oh, phase, that's bullshit. We do need to be out here protesting. So, well, where the hell is they damn vest at then? They gonna go with you. Where they vest at? They had protection and stuff. Knee pads in case they fall. Get pushed down in the stampede. Skin up their knees and elbows. Where's their protective gear if you gonna have them out there? That's all I'm saying. I ain't told them they can't go. I probably did say it quite impressionable, though, that you shouldn't. In my opinion, you got other ways that we can fight this. Other ways we can stay in this fight and make an impact than going out here marching around in circles and 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 still ain't even put together not one packet to patrol our own selves. No, but I don't know. Got the Black Panthers Party self-defense plan right there in our face, on our back, toting it around like we really using it, like they meant for us to do, but we wasn't. We was not. And right here today, I assure you, you keep on playing these games and stuff, you're going to find yourself out there with some people that really ain't going to stand up for you. No, ain't nobody going to come back and drag your ass off that concrete. No, you're going to have to wait till the smoke clear away. And everybody done dissipated and disappeared, and whoever's still looking around to see what they can find might see. So use your discernment. Use your discernment. Honey, these is unprecedented times. You don't know what extent folks is finna go to keep this dedicated ignorance, I guess, keep this lap of luxury, to keep this comfort. I don't know. Seems to me like everybody's willing to give white America what they want. Hell, they bound to hand us right on over to them here. We need to calm y'all down again, white folks. We see y'all getting riled up. And other folks that's here in the country now that wasn't here during these days and stuff, and they hearing stuff now, I don't know what they thinking. I have no idea what they thinking. But white folks is getting riled up again about all of this uncertainty, and this pressure that they now feeling, which is the oppression that Martin Luther King was talking about. Injustice to one is injustice to all. Everybody can get some of this oppression. And it just might tip them off again, y'all. I just want you to know, hey, it's my first time reading these books anyway. I just want you to know that might tip them off again. It might just tip them off over the edge and stuff. I seen somebody talking about they already complaining they can't stand it. Black fatigue, I don't know, I guess they sick of us. Right. They supposed to be sick and tired of black people. Honey, we so motherfucking sick and tired of this mystery. These mystery people. We don't know who you are. You can't be sick and tired of us. No, trying to project some old bullshit. But see, we got to be knowing what's going on, what's done happened. These people decide that they can't take it no more and go back to being their culturally psychotic, riding in that culturally psychotic vehicle of spiritual and intellectual enslavement. Where the hell you gonna run to? Don't tell me your ass gonna be in the vehicle with them. Oh, my ancestors. I'm just saying. All of this, it bears us to be paying attention to it. Don't be worried. Honey, we got things to do. We got things to do. Don't be worried, honey, because we got solutions at hand. We can come up with options. So we ain't got to be worried. Just be wary. Know what's going on and stuff. I know the world on fire. I know America on fire. Let the motherfucker burn. Let this hell is shaking now. It's crumbling. Let that motherfucker crumble. I'm just saying, for me, in my opinion, everything that I done read, shit, Mother Earth, she the one. Mother Earth the one want to go back to her natural homeostasis at one time. Black. All black. At one time, Mother Earth was all black. Now, I can't say, now, if she want to get rid of them other white people. But I know white folks, she want to get rid of. She want to get rid of them. Now, them other white people and stuff, she probably talking about y'all ass too. You condoned it so much. You condoned all this devastation and destruction and death and murder and mayhem, and you condoned it. So as far as that, I don't know. Mother Earth might want to get rid of all of y'all asses and it just be all black again. Should just be peaceful again. Ain't nobody trying to cut down her trees, poison her waters, pollute her airs, extinct her beautiful plants, extinct her beautiful masterpieces of the pets of the world, the beautiful giraffes and elephants, and then you got your orcas and your sharks. White folk go over there and be standing on top of a giraffe because they done killed it. Just doing inhumane shit. And what brother was saying, if Derek Chauvin had did one act of humanity, he would have got off of that. He didn't have none in him. He probably thought about it too. If I just do one act, if I just lift my knee up off of it. He probably thought about it, but he couldn't. It was that humane nature. It had taken effect. And he couldn't get up. He couldn't empathize with him and stuff. He just had to kick that shit to the side and stuff because he's staying in that pose. And he did. But see how delicate it is? Us putting our communities in such a vulnerable state still today. And everybody act like they don't know, they can't do nothing. We got to fight this battle against police brutality so slowly at a time and stuff. No, you don't. You need to go after one focus, 2 focus, 3 focus, and that's it. Yep. We need our own police department back. Give me my community back. I know you had a community called The Way. Minneapolis did over there where Jamar Clark was killed. I found out about it. Some old people told me. Said they were called The Way. Yep. And there was Spike Moss now. And yep. Give it back to the people. Give it back to the people. That one anyway. You need to give it back to the people. Teach the people if they need it. If they need it. I don't know. Shit's so fucked up now. You don't really know who you can trust. You sure don't, black people. You is in a bind. Letting everybody take the helm but you. Letting everybody do everything but you. You were supposed to be the one calling the shots and let everybody else know, I need you to do this. Hey, that's what you were supposed to be doing. Now, instead, everybody was doing that to us. Face, yeah, I need you to do this, and this. And that's why we lost that now. That's why we're in the situation we're in now. You ain't got but a fortnight to get your ass in gear and get that community center back over there, And those that understand in the name of love, that understand and they got empathy and sympathy for you and stuff, should understand why you must do this. Black America. Reach out to New Era Detroit, I guess, and they can give you some pointers and stuff, how they got started patrolling and protecting. And it might still even be police out there with them. I don't know. I ain't never been there before. I just seen it on the internet that they doing this stuff. And I love them. They my brothers. They black. They my brothers. And I think it's worthy of y'all to see, hey, help us do this too. We really need to do this. Start with 1 or 2 communities, because you missed the opportunities that you had before and before and before. Yep. I got that man newspaper in there on my wall right there. Yeah, when they were trying to straighten up our communities and be there for our communities and shit. It's like, damn, well, where did this big boulder come from? Who pushed that big boulder down the hill on y'all, knowing you were doing the best you can? Still setting up high and looking down. Yeah, we did get rid of that, didn't we? Mm-hmm. The ancestors know too. Yep. Every last one of the Black Panthers, they know what you did, what you've been doing with what they left behind for Black people to really be able to use for our safety. Yeah, all of them looking at you. Every last one of them. Sure will, son. And they looking at you, know exactly what you've been doing, helping them folks to keep, quite possibly, one of the only major self-defense plans we got that I know of. I don't think I know of any other self-defense plans for us. I'm sure I don't, because hell, I've been asleep for 43 years. Shit. I'm just coming on here reading some books, telling you how it is. Reading between the lines, I guess. Yep, just read. But anyway, we're done with this right here. After today, we are done with this. I just had to get that off when I saw that video. So yeah, don't worry yourself, because as brother just said, he might be pardoned in name for something other, but his ass gonna still be sitting in prison. So let that be enough. Let that be enough. Because if this right here finna be what's finna rouse you up, Black America, your motherfucking ass should have done that when the airmen was erased, when the soldiers was erased from the databases and stuff, when all of that, them executed, when they was put out and passed and stuff. So yeah, pick your battles and learn a different way to fight. Learn a different way to fight so you can get home too. You want to get home at night too, don't you? Everybody should. These ain't the times to be playing around and stuff and think, oh yeah, we all gonna stand together in solidarity. I'm just saying though. But let's read. Yes, this is the end of the book. More Dirty Little Secrets. This is Dr. Claude Anderson and Brent about Black History is Heroes and Other Troublemakers, Volume 2. I do not have Volume 1. Maybe I can order it at some time and stuff. He did have 5 books for $100 plus tax, but now you got to pay for each book individually. And yeah. So I think I got like 3 that I'll probably have to buy at some time. So let's read, y'all. We're almost done. I thank you so much. Let me get some shout outs and make sure I'm not muted again. No, I see it right there. Because I do apologize for that, honey. Hi, Kelvin. It's so good to see you. It is good to see you. We are finishing up More Dirty Little Secrets. Yeah, I just had to get that off my chest, that little rant right there about the pardoning of Derek Chauvin. If he is pardoned on some accounts, don't worry about it and stuff, because just be wary, because his name might be pardoned in some whatever, however they finna do this, but his ass, brother just said his ass still got to sit in prison. Let that be enough, because from what I'm seeing, all of us are working, doing the knowledge, going within, researching, building for ourselves. We got to stay on that course. Yeah, we got to stay on that course. We can't get off that course and all of a sudden start going this way with everybody else because they feel like that's what we should do. It's enough for us that his ass is locked up when so many of their motherfucking asses wasn't. So many, almost 100% of their asses was not, if not 100%. Now this book right here, 100% was not locked up. They was not. Overall, I say after slavery, Red Summer, the lynching period and stuff, probably 2% were locked up, maybe 3%. Ask ChatGPT, but so yeah, it can be enough that his ass is still locked up. For me, anyway. Sure is, honey. A fighting little man. Nearly a generation before Jack Johnson became the first black heavyweight boxing champion of the world, George Dixon, George Dixon, Dixon, a small man who barely weighed 100 pounds, y'all. He was smaller than me. Was recognized as the first black man to win a world boxing championship title. On June 27, 1890, George Dixon defeated Nunk Wallace, that's N-U-N-C. Nunk Wallace in the 18th round to win the bantamweight fight. B-A-T-A-M, weight, W-I-G-H-T. You'll have to look that up. I never heard it before. Dixon was considered one of the best bantamweight fighters in the history of the sport. In 20 years of professional boxing, from 1886 to 1906, Dixon fought and won nearly 160 fights, y'all. This man won nearly over 150 fights. He was nigh upon 200 fights. My brother, George Dixon, my brother, our brothers, you see the power in us. Oh, it just make me want to just growl it out. George Dixon was a little piece of leather, but he was well put together. I know y'all know that. Now, he died on January 6, 1909, and was elected into the International Boxing Hall of Fame in 1990. It took over 80 years to recognize boxing champion George Dixon, because black boxers dominate that sport, but they do not control who will be recognized. 80 years, y'all. Can you imagine the generations that's done come, done gone, done lived, passed away, they done built up stuff and lost stuff, babies had, families grown. 80 years. Yeah, we do ourselves an injustice if we remain in this predicament. Dog's best friend. A number of Southern black expressions related to dogs, such as putting on the dog and turning the dogs loose, have their roots in black slave culture. Even hush puppies, a Southern food item, came from black slaves baking small rolls of cornmeal in hog grease and sharing some with the dogs who bark for morsels after smelling the aroma. The expressions, putting on the dog and turning the dog loose, are social expressions used in both white and black communities to imply going all out to have a good time socially. Turning the dog loose, yeah, black and white folks use it. It just means going out to have a good time. In general, however, there was a tenuous relationship between blacks and dogs that goes back hundreds of years, y'all. What is he finna teach us now? Because you know I told y'all animals are awakened too. They having an awakening too. I believe when these robot dogs come out, that's when the real dog, Butch, your dog Butch, our honey Butch finna tell you some things. Sure will, but let's read. It's just my opinion. Whites routinely use dogs to catch runaway slaves, escaping prisoners, or blacks who were the guests of honor on a Saturday night coon hunt. Plantation dogs were trained to attack and hunt blacks. In some instances, dogs were trained to kill running black persons, especially those blacks who habitually ran away from plantations or was viewed as a social problem. Ooh, honey, he better not be in my vegetable garden. Oh, I promise you. You better get your ass out of this kitchen. Oh, I don't play that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to make my own garden shelves and stuff. I'm gonna buy me some 2x4s, and I'm gonna get it up a little high off the ground. Yeah, I'm finna make my own look. Yeah. In some instances, dogs were trained to kill running black persons, especially those blacks who habitually ran away from plantations or were viewed as a social problem. The dogs most commonly used to track, attack, and kill blacks were hound dogs. I don't even know black people that have hound dogs. I'm sure it might be some, but in the South, hunting coon on a moonlit Saturday night was a favorite sport. To keep black runaways from injuring the chasing dogs and strangling them, the slave owners often equipped dogs with spiked neck collars. So that way when they grab them, it'll pierce their hand and stuff. In response to the 1960 civil rights marches and demonstrations, Southern police often used what they call Negro dogs, especially trained to attack black marchers and demonstrators. A general fear of dogs has been passed down to each new generation of blacks. Yeah, a general fear of dogs has been passed down to each new generation of blacks. I can see it now where we are a little more lax with dogs. A lot of us have dogs and stuff. I got a cat. I would like to have a dog, maybe a German Shepherd. Or, a Labrador or something like that. But when dogs do start talking, they got some stories to tell us, to let us know what they went through to be forced to attack us, to attack our ancestors. They're going to tell us what their dog ancestors went through to be able to do that. Maybe one day the experiences of dogs and black people will improve to the point that they can be best friends. Black genes have it. Liberals and conservatives alike avoid publicly addressing an issue that constantly haunts every sports enthusiast: the darkening of American sports. Many are curious and wonder if black people have a special gene that makes them better athletes, or are they simply better because of environment alone? White racists have long claimed that blacks are more physically endowed than whites because blacks are lower in the evolutionary chain. Now, why it's got to be? I digress. Maybe they ain't even talking about, endowed. Maybe they talking about other endowments. There'll be other endowments, I'm sure. But liberals and civil writers, on the other hand, reject the gene theory and argue that blacks have succeeded in sports and entertainment primarily because of social conditioning and the specific avenues of opportunities that are open in these areas. Who is right, the conservative racists or the civil rights liberals? In his book, White Over White, Winthrop D. Jordan stated that white slave traders originally chose black people for slavery because black people had stronger bodies and greater physical endurance than whites, Indians, or even Asians. He indicated white laborers died quickly from hard labor. They weak asses. He indicated white laborers died quickly from hard labor and feel heat. That's why they be so faint. I feel so faint. They did number walk to the mailbox. Heifer, change your damn baby's pamper. Similarly, John Perry in his book, Myths and Realities of American Slavery, cited in 1511, report to the Spanish royal government that stated that the work of one black slave was equal to that of 4 native Indians. The fact that black people survived the harshness of slavery when other populations could not seems to lead one to conclude that blacks have some kind of extraordinary physical abilities. If not, then there must be some socio-psychological explanation for why they dominate nearly every physical sport that they enter. I told you, we're cosmic, we're the manifestations of cosmic energy, the ethers. Everything that you see when you look into the night sky, you see the stars and the moon and, the storms that's and shooting stars and rainbows. That's cosmic energy. All of that up there. Black holes, meteors, galaxies, Milky Ways, all of that is cosmic energy. Cosmic energy wanted to experience human life, human manhood, womanhood, life on Earth, on planet Earth. If it wanted to experience this life on planet Saturn, we would have a different body, a different vessel. But see, it wanted to experience it on Earth. So that's why we look like this. And when it manifested itself, here I am. Here I am. Yep, I know, right? There you are. It's you. It's me. It's us. Black people. Shit, it ain't white folks. It ain't other folks. They all came from black people. They all came from black people. How do you explain the fact that slaves who didn't own horses entered horse racing and became the nation's best horse racing jockeys until racism closed them out in early 1900s? How you explain that? With the horses, with animals. Yeah, because you know, soon as brother leaned down and said, come on now. Come on, jockey. Come on, bro. Let's go, jockey. We got this. Him and the horse was one. They were one. See, black people, the Bible, for the truth that is in it and stuff, you know that it's about you. We're talking about you. But you didn't read between them lines. You didn't read between them lines. You were supposed to protect them animals, the pets of this world. God gave you dominion over every animal on this planet. You were supposed to stand up for them. You were supposed to stand up for them. Even after you got your own self free, took you through hell and high water to get yourself free. Thank your ancestors for that. And after that, you're supposed to stand up on behalf of the pets of this world, of this planet. And you still supposed to, in case you didn't know. So yeah, how do you explain the fact that slaves who didn't own horses entered horse racing and became the nation's best horse racing jockeys until racism closed them out in the early 1900s? If they had the natural skills before racism shut them out, would they not still be the best jockeys if racism were to disappear? Blacks entered boxing, football, baseball, basketball, and field and track and have dominated these sports for over a century. By the mid-20th century, black athletes entered tennis, gymnastics, golf, bobsledding, and soccer, and immediately began to dominate. Rejecting the gene theory makes it difficult to explain how black minority population dominates so many sports. And not to mention, black people, I've heard, or I haven't really researched it or nothing like that black people invented a lot of these sports. Anyway, it could be a natural reflex, a natural memory, like a body memory that we still have also. I don't know. I'm just trying to think for myself these days, honey. Yep. There are 800 million blacks in the world. I needed to know what the number's like. When I tell you that if this genocidal extermination bullshit is carried out, and since it says there's 800 million people in the world, say they get you down to 300 million in the whole world. 300 million people. That's the only black people you see on this planet. And the sun gonna blow up that day. That very day. The sun won't be able to take back the energy from 500 million black people. It ain't enough living nothing on this planet to accept the energy of 500, not here, 500 million, not here, black people. Something got to receive that energy. Either those that's here on this planet gonna literally just fry, or that energy going back to the sun and the sun gonna blow up. But either way it go, white folks ain't thought none of this out. They ain't thought none of this out at all. But I digress. There are 800 million blacks in the world, which works out to 1/8 of the world's population. But they hold all the major world records in running, from the 100-meter dash to marathons. Blacks make up 12.4% of the total population in the United States, but constitute 85% of professional basketball players, 63% of the professional football players, and 75% of the boxers. It isn't just an American thing either. In England, blacks are less than 2% of the population, but they are 20% of the professional soccer players. In Latin America, the Caribbean, and European countries, African blacks dominate and set performance records, especially in long and middle distance running. Gary Kamiya, Kamiya, in his book, The Black Edge, argues that black athletes are advantaged in sports by their distinctive skeletal systems, musculature, and metabolic structures. The physical achievements of blacks is evidence that not all people are equally endowed. Black people have been blessed with some good genes and physical abilities. Liberals and civil rights leaders need to accept it for what it is and move on. Black musical geniuses. Thomas Blind Tom Bethune. Oh, wow. Mary Bethune. Look, Mary McLeod Bethune. You know, she went up north, started her school with $1.50. We learned about her in the book, too. Started her school with $1.50. They were writing on leaves, honey. Times got so hard and stuff. But Mary sent us a message and let us know how she did it and sent us a confirmation with that little pen because they were using little bitty small pencils. Yep, honey, they were using little tiny pencils. It's in there somewhere, little bitty pencils. Mary said when they ran out of paper and stuff to write on, she went and dried some leaves off the tree. She told me exactly how they do it, too. Yep, they didn't have to cut down all the trees of Mother Earth. They didn't have to cut them trees down to make paper. No, they didn't have to do that. You're supposed to use the leaves, and then the leaves grow back on the tree. But when you anti-life, see, you take none of that into consideration. But I digress. Thomas Blind Tom Bethune, 1848 to 1908, was one of the greatest handicapped, untaught musicians in the history of music. Born into slavery in Georgia, he became the leading musical wonder of his time. Almost blind, unable to read or write, and with no training whatsoever, he had a mastery of music and the piano. He could repeat correctly any selection, however complicated, after hearing it only one time, y'all. Thomas Bethune. He could play by heart over 5,000 selections from music composers such as Beethoven, Bach, Mozart, and other masters. I don't know nothing about them musicians and stuff, but I hear they grand. Blind Tom lived and died in poverty, but during his early years, he earned a fortune for his various slave masters. Tom was followed by Sugar Child Robinson, Ray Charles, and Stevie Wonder. All were blind black men with no formal musical training, but recognized as geniuses. The Tiger Roars. Golf sensation Tiger Woods, a black man, is recognized as the greatest professional golfer that the world has ever seen. After winning 3 consecutive U.S. Amateur Championships, Tiger Woods decided to go professional. At 21 years of age, he became the youngest player and the first black to ever play in and win the Masters Golf Tournament. Since winning it, Tiger Woods has broken nearly every golf record, both domestically and internationally. In the spring of 2005, he won his 4th Masters title and again established himself as the #1 golfer in the world. In responding to his 4th Masters win, Tiger Woods said, "It's pretty neat to have won 4 before the age of 30 and do something no one else has done." In 2001, when he won the Masters, he also became the first golfer to ever hold all 4 Pro Grand Slams titles simultaneously. Before Woods, the game of golf was a low-profile and primarily white sport. With the exception of a few black golfers, black people viewed golfing only with a hope to caddy or work around the clubhouse. Woods' emotional control, energy, and playing skills have popularized the sport. When Woods plays in a golf tournament, he draws staggering numbers of television viewers and on-site sellout crowds. Even without his massive earnings and product endorsements, Woods holds the title for the highest grossing professional golfer. Tiger Woods. Yep, here's the model that many players emulate and dream of beating. Quotable notable, Sam Phillips, the founder of Sun Records and the man who discovered Elvis Presley, reportedly said in the 1950s, the early 50s, "If I could find me a white boy who could sing like a nigga, we can make him a millionaire. Once Elvis Presley became a millionaire and was crowned the king of white rock and roll, he allegedly said, all that a nigga can do for me is shine my shoes and buy my records, that motherfucker. The birth of minstrels. Minstrel shows became popular throughout the United States in the 1840s, with white men writing the music and using blackface makeup. Yeah. Thomas Rice and Dan Emmett were two popular blackface minstrel performers, but the most popular musical composer of plantation songs was Stephen Foster. He wrote deep, emotional songs to accompany a musical version of Uncle Tom's Cabin and other minstrel shows. And I found the real Uncle Tom's Cabin. I found the real one. Taria, it's been a long time. I remember Uncle Tom. I was mad at him. I felt like, why is Tom in love with this little white girl? What is this? So now I get to reread it again with y'all. Yeah. I would kind of feel some type of way about Uncle Tom. But I digress. After writing for Uncle Tom's Cabin, Foster began to distance himself from the negative images of blacks portrayed in every aspect of society. Oh, let me back up. Through his minstrel songs, Foster gained wealth and fame by making fun of uneducated black people's speech and their native skin color. Harriet Beecher Stowe's Uncle Tom's Cabin inspired Foster to write one of his most enduring hits entitled My Old Kentucky Home, Good Night, which became Kentucky's state song. After writing for Uncle Tom's Cabin, Foster began to distance himself from the negative images of blacks portrayed in every aspect of society. Following the Civil War, black people formed their own troops, wrote their own songs, and performed on the minstrel stages. Sadly, black minstrel entertainers imitated white minstrels by blackening up their faces to appear more ridiculous and Sambo-like. And see, I got a problem with that word Sambo because that was my great-grandfather's name. I don't know why. I am on a journey to find out. When I do talk to some family members, some elders, and find out, some things, then I want to know why was he named Sambo. What happened? And I forgive my great-granddaddy, too, for whatever happened. The indoctrination runs deep. Yep. In the 20th century, Al Jolson, Jolson, a white Jewish singer, and George Gershwin, Gershwin, a white composer, continued performing blackface minstrels and musicals. Al Jolson became a national icon, kneeling in blackface and singing Mammy and Suwannee River. Who was that was thrown in the Suwannee River? It was one of our brothers. Oh, wait a minute. I think it's on it's on the receipts. I'll find it and let you know. Was it Jim Grant? They were thrown in the Suwannee River because Emmett was thrown in the Tallahassee. And one of our brothers was thrown in the Suwannee River. 15-year-old Willie James Howard in 1944. Y'all, he sent he gave a Christmas card to a little white girl. He was lynched, y'all, beaten, tortured, and he was thrown in the river. He was thrown in the river. All these rivers and stuff, y'all, our ancestors deserved all the vengeance that they want. They didn't get to live out their lives. Willie James Howard. Willie James Howard. He got 3 first names. Willie James Howard. That's how you can remember. That's how I can remember. George Gershwin wrote the musical Porgy and Bess that promoted demeaning images of impoverished urban blacks and featured an all-black cast. I never watched it. In the musical, the lead character, Porgy, sang a song that glorified the status quo of black people at the time and glorified black people accepting poverty and laziness as a way of life. Porgy immortalized blacks' love of poverty when he sang the words, I got plenty of nothing, and nothing is plenty enough for me. Gershwin's Porgy character was physically handicapped, but the song made him appear intellectually handicapped as well. Poor Porgy. Yeah, I never watched Porgy and Bess. Our state songs. All the states have official songs. The state songs of Kentucky, Maryland, Virginia, Florida, Georgia, and Texas offer some interesting views about black people set to music. For example, the state song for Kentucky is My Old Kentucky Home. It was officially established as a state song in 1853. Your ass was still a slave. In 1853, that should tell you enough. With the original title, Poor Uncle Tom, Good Night, it became one of Stephen Foster's best-loved minstrel songs. The original lyrics spoke of how the darkies are gay. It's talking about happy. The darkies are gay, and the time has come when darkies have to part. Lyrics of this song are still played and sung at the start of the Kentucky Derby horse races. Are still played and sung at the start of the Kentucky Derby horse races every May. Every May. I ain't never been to the Kentucky Derby, but they still play it. Them motherfuckers still play it. They ain't been sincere with us. That's why you go to Bill Pinkett, Black People Rodeo. You want to go see some horses and riding horses and stuff? Go to Bill Pickett's rodeo. We got our own rodeo. So yeah. Other state songs were written by Stephen Foster. In the post-civil rights era, Florida's legislators tried to revoke their state song title, Old Folk at Home, because of the lyrical reference to darkies. And look at this picture right here. I don't know which one this is. Oh, Carry Me Back to Old Virginia. Must be one of the other state songs. In at least one state, a black man wrote the lyrics of a state song. That the state song of Virginia, Carry Me Back to Old Virginia, was written by James Bland. Sandra Bland's one of her greatest grands. A black man who died in obscurity and poverty. In recent years, Virginia revoked the song and now has no official state song. Ain't that some shit? The state song of Maryland was written within days after the Civil War began. The original lyrics in the song, Maryland, My Maryland, vilified President Abraham Lincoln, calling Northerners scum and called Southern Confederates to arms. Without a doubt, Texas's state song wins the prize. Texas's state song, The Yellow Rose of Texas, is a popular song about a mulatto or black woman who could have been a prostitute. While sung as a folk song, its lyrics glorify the beauty of a mulatto woman's sexual attributes, hinting that not all Texas white males prefer blue-eyed blondes. A taste of black humor. How black labor was used to enrich European whites is reflected in the following popular joke. A white man wanted to cross a river that was deep and swift. He took out his gun and whip, jumped on a black man's back and said, swim. The black man started to swim, but the river was so swift with a strong undertow. The black man said, I don't think I can make it, sir. The white man said, of course you can, as he began beating the black man to make him swim harder. When they reached the other side, the black man expected some words of appreciation or a reward for all of his hard work and suffering. The white man shook his head and said, no way. Without my help, you never would have made it to America. If I had not kidnapped and beaten you, you would not be standing here on this side of the river. Isn't it funny that those who oppose reparations for black Americans use this very same logic? They claim that since blacks in America are so much better off than blacks in Africa, that whites do not owe blacks reparations. Instead, blacks owe whites for having brought them out of Africa. You son of a bitch. You see, y'all motherfuckers. No, ain't never. Instead, blacks owe whites from having brought them out of Africa. This twisted logic is espoused by right-wing conservatives, and unlike the joke, is not a laughing matter. Ooh. Let me see. We ain't got to what, folks? Let's do it, y'all. Did Hitler snub Jesse Owens? Who snubbed Jesse Owens reputedly the fastest man alive in the 1930s? When black athletes from the United States defeated German athletes in the 1936 Olympics, the United States hailed this victory as a humiliation for Germany and a setback for the so-called superior Aryan race. In those 1936 Olympic Games, Jesse Owens beat Germany's best track and field athletes. Owens bagged 4 gold medals for America, winning the 100-meter dash, the 200-meter dash, the broad jump, and the 400-meter relay. The popular story goes that Hitler became so incensed and stormed out of the stadium to avoid congratulating Owens. Such an open display of arrogance fit Hitler's image. But according to William J. Baker, it never happened. William J. Baker, who wrote Jesse Owens' biography, says newspapers made up the whole story, them lying sons of a bitches. In the days following the Olympic Games, Owens insisted he was never snubbed by Hitler. It was only after Owens returned home and America made him a national hero and role model for their image of a black man that Owens began saying he had been snubbed by Hitler. When the American spin doctors went to work, they turned half truths into whole truths. Hitler did not congratulate Owens, but neither did Hitler congratulate any of the other competing black athletes either. He had gone into public relations trouble earlier when he congratulated some winners, but not all of them. Therefore, the International Olympic Committee advised him to avoid any congratulations. The great irony of the 1936 Olympic Games is that Hitler did not snub Jesse Owens or other black athletes, but the President of the United States did. Hey, the President of the United States did. President Franklin D. Roosevelt refused a face-to-face meeting with and would not congratulate Jesse Owens, even via telephone or letter. And even more sinister irony was that while Jesse Owens was in Germany, he was able to go into any restaurant, any movie theater, or sit in the front of any German bus that he wanted to. In America, he could not go into white restaurants or white theaters, and the white bus lines made him sit in the rear of the bus. Which snubbing do you think hurt Jesse Owens and the black athletes the most? I wonder, was it difficult to come back here? A dynamite tennis duo, Serena and Venus Williams, 2 black sisters, entered the 21st century as the disputed world champions in professional tennis. For over a century, women's professional tennis was perceived as the sacred turf to delicate white women, just as professional golf was a sacred turf of white gentlemen. You know, they just stand there and hit the ball. Yeah. The Williams sisters present two problems to the world's professional tennis circuit. They do not fit the classical stereotypical tennis player image, being neither white nor classically feminine. Instead, the Williams sisters are tall, strong, talented, and black. Their status as queens of the tennis world has drawn disparaging comments from across America and all around the world. However, neither the negative comments nor most white tennis opponents have succeeded in defeating the Williams sisters on or off the tennis courts. The Williams sisters succeeded like Althea Gibson and Arthur Ashe, the first black woman and black man to break the color barrier in professional tennis. Although the Williams sisters are constantly reminded by hecklers, referees, and sports spectators, they are 2 black sisters playing against whites in a white sport. They are persistent winners. Serena and Venus Williams not only dominate the world of professional tennis, they set a precedent by being the first siblings, male or female, to ever occupy the top 2 spots in tennis world rankings. They were the first sisters in tennis history to win a Grand Slam singles title, the first sisters to meet in a women's tennis association tour final, the first sisters to win the Olympic gold medals in doubles, and the only sisters in the 20th century to win a Grand Slam doubles title together. In 2002, the Williams sisters was recognized as the world's best female athletes and the best female tennis players. Besides being mentally tough, these two women are each nearly 6 feet tall and weigh approximately 160 pounds. The hard and fast serves can take the rackets out of the hands of competitors. Yeah, they hit so hard and fast that racket just fly out of some of the competitors' hands. You better hold on to it. I'm just saying. These young, healthy sisters will continue to challenge and probably dominate women's professional tennis for some time to come. Yeah. Dutch slave traders poem. Dutch slave traders poem. Glass beads and brandy and scissors and knives and other cheap trash for them giving. The profit at least 800% if I keep the half of them living. For fetch our 300 blacks alive to the port of Rio Janeiro. 'Tis 100 ducats apiece for me from the house of Gonzales Pereiro. Fast track black athletes. Following the Great Depression of the 1930s, mainstream American society crowned both Jesse Owens and Joe Louis national heroes. Jesse Owens was called the fastest man alive, and Joe Louis was crowned the Brown Bomber, the heavyweight champion of the world. Americans loved, respected, and was so proud of both of these black athletes. Meanwhile, at least one black man was being lynched every day in America. The apparent explanation of this hypocrisy was that Owens and Lewis were different from other blacks. White people saw Owens and Lewis as exceptional black people, as exceptional blacks in race matters. Both athletes had defeated German opponents and weakened Germany's sense of racial superiority over white Americans. Therefore, Owens and Lewis were American heroes because they had embarrassed Hitler and his propaganda machine about Nazis being the superior race. In the 1936 Olympic Games in Berlin on Hitler's home turf, Jesse Owens won the 100 and 200 meter dashes and the long jump, as well as ran the victorious leg of 100 of America's 400 meter relay, while German athletes pulled up the rear. Hitler's master race suffered its second setback in 1938 when Joe Louis, the son of a nearly destitute black sharecropper, knocked out Max Schmeling, Schmeling, Max Schmeling, Germany's premier boxer and heavyweight champion of the world. Africans equated Joe Louis's victory to the defeat of Nazi Germany. The United States rewarded Louis and Owens by granting them celebrity status and an opportunity to promote American democracy around the world. There's little doubt that Joe Louis and Jesse Owens personally enjoyed the fruits of their celebrity status. However, little of the positive trickled down to the rest of Black America, and the glow of their newfound status was short-lived. When the Black Civil Rights Movement started in the late 1950s, white society called on Joe Louis and Jesse Owens to use their celebrity status to degrade the emerging Black Civil Rights Movement and its aggressive Black leaders. The willingness of these famous athletes to go against their own people cast them into Sambo roles. What? Both athletes lost their public relations value due to white society when they were castigated by Black Americans as Uncle Tom sellouts. Shortly thereafter, the Internal Revenue Service, the IRS, pounced on Owens and Lewis for unpaid back taxes. Having outlived their political usefulness as passive Black role models, they were stripped of all their money, their properties, and their pride. Both of them died poor with low public respect. Joe Louis, the Brown Bomber, worked his last days as a doorman for a Las Vegas casino. Jesse Owens was a salesman smoked a pack of cigarettes a day for 35 years, and died of cancer at the age of 66. Don't sell out for black people. You sold out to sleep. I slept for 43 years. That was enough selling out. Sleeping it off. Don't sell out. It ain't worth it. Noble fact. Even though black produced music was the origin of popular music around the world, like Rodney King, it never got any respect from non-blacks. For instance, Duke Ellington, one of this nation's great musicians, was routinely introduced to white audiences by the club's white master of ceremonies as the greatest living master of jungle music. I didn't know I was going to say that. The greatest living master of jungle music. White big band leaders like Benny Goodman and Tommy Dorsey became rich and famous imitating blacks and playing jungle music that they call swing. Another form of unique black music was jazz. Jazz is a short name for what whites call jackass music. Oh, up until the late 1950s, many whites, especially ministers, called black rhythm and blues music, R&B, the devil's music. Now, when you sit back and relax to some old goodies, to some oldies but goodies, you will know what you're listening to. And now, who playing it? Who playing it now? Sports, gladiators, and blacks. The majority of celebrity blacks in America are in sports. Thus, a disproportionate number of young blacks pursue sports as a way to alter their socioeconomic conditions. Black athletes are simply employees who have no ownership or control of the sports industry. In reality, they are conditioned bodies under contract as well-paid gladiators. History teaches that hired gladiators are made up of society's safe, controllable, and most expendable people. In the days of the Roman Empire, for example, Emperor Commodus, Commodus, collected midgets, the handicapped people, criminals, slaves, and social outsiders in the city of Rome, brought them into the Colosseum, and ordered them to entertain the public by fighting each other to the death with meat cleavers. The spectators always cheered, and the winning gladiators were presented with lavish meals and female companionship, but rarely, if ever, did they receive their freedom. When a gladiator became too old, injured, or failed to perform, the ruling class had little difficulty voting thumbs down and condemning the gladiator to death. Damn. Considering that most black athletes wind up either broke and or permanently injured, black athletes or black gladiators of today should not miss the lesson. Great black swordsman. Black is the traditional color for the master swordsman in fencing. John Lewis, a black man, was one of France's greatest swordsmen, y'all. He was born in Haiti and died in France at the age of 80 years old. His name and his career are still highly regarded in literature on the art of fencing. You know, when they stand like that right there, yeah, fencing. Since the 1950s, several young blacks have established themselves as national or Olympic fencing champions. The world ought not to be surprised to see black athletes one day dominate fencing as they do in other sports. The monkey rides again. Have you ever heard the expression that someone has a monkey on their back? Me too. I have heard it before. I thought it was talking about that addiction. The monkey on the back was not always about drugs. There you have it. Let's learn. In the early 1800s, a black jockey named Monkey Simon was the terror of the horse racing. Monkey Simon was the terror of the horse racing circuit, y'all. They knew it was coming. They knew he was coming. It said in the early 1800s, a black jockey nicknamed Monkey Simon was the terror of the horse racing circuit. I know. He was the nation's first black jockey celebrity. As a slave, Monkey Simons earned his master $100 per ride in every race that he entered. Yes, honey. Unfortunately, like many black jockeys who followed Monkey Simons into horse racing, Black jockeys earn lots of money for the owners of the horses and the racetracks. As a black jockey and a slave, all Monkey Simons got was a racing reputation that has been buried in iniquity for nearly 200 years. We don't even remember Monkey Simons. We're going to say Simmons. It's Simons, S-I-M-O-N-S. S-I-M-O-N is Simon, but it's got an S on it. Monkey Simmons, Monkey Simons. We just say Monkey Simons. Been hidden for 200 years. And we say, oh, yeah, you got that monkey off your back. You better get that monkey off your back. That took precedence over us saying, remember, Monkey Simon. And we done. Look, we reached the end. Thank you so much. I thank you, my people. You, my people. I'm your sister. You, my brother. You, my sister. I thank you. I love you to life and afterlife. Don't you forget it. Don't you forget it. No matter what happens, don't worry. Just be wary. Make sure you got what you need. Take care of them babies. Make sure they thinking for themselves. Help them start thinking for themselves, even if you can't. Don't shut them up. They want to learn. Let me do this right here. And they trying to do this and fix this and stuff. Don't you tell them put my damn toaster back together. You let them see where that's going to lead them to. Go buy your ass a new toaster. Go buy you a new toaster. They'll put it back together. If it don't work and stuff, then go buy you a new one. If it do, it might be better than when you bought it. I'm just saying. Yeah, let our babies start thinking for themselves and stuff. Because, honey, who we finna leave them with, I can't do it. You probably can, but I can't. Can't leave my babies, my people, my nieces, my nephews, your babies, all our babies. We can't leave them with these people not knowing what they need to know. But anyway, we finna go, y'all. But I want you to keep some gratitude, and I want you to keep a song in your heart. People ain't got to know about your gratitude. I do wish you would share it. When, even when people ask you, you ain't got to just go up to nobody and tell them. But unless you're going to help a sister, your cousin, your niece. You see, she always sad. She always got something on and stuff. Let her know. Be grateful. Be grateful for some. Here, give her $10. Tell her be grateful. Be grateful. Somebody love you and think about you and see that you need a kind word. You need a smile. Give them something. But gratitude, y'all, can shield you from negativity. Makes you at least 25% happier. See, we don't have bad days. We see it that we having bad days sometimes. You got a bad hair day. It ain't that. It's just that we've had better days. After these days right here, don't be saying, oh, I'm having a bad day today. Just I've had better days. Yeah, our ancestors had all the bad, all the savage, all the ravished days. They had the bad days. They don't have the bad days. So yeah, when you look at it like that right there, you almost there. You make yourself happy. You keep that badness off of you, that negativity off of you, that feeling depressed. Oh, I'm feeling lonely. I'm sad. All that woe is me. You keep that off of you. And that little bit goes a long way. Then when you add gratitude to it and you 25% happier, oh, honey, you halfway there. Add a song to your heart, you good to go. Yep. Gratitude rewires your brain, eliminates stress, and it heals you. Gratitude improves sleep. It boosts your self-esteem and your performance. It enhances law of attraction, and it improves relationships, honey. You can't go wrong with no gratitude. You cannot go wrong with no gratitude. Start with something small if you must. Expand on it. Keep it going. Be consistent with it, because when you stop riding the bike, that's when your ass falls. When you stop giving that gratitude, that's when that negativity can slip in. That's when you do find yourself feeling sad and depressed. And I feel, some type of way, woe is me and stuff. Get your gratitude back up again. Push yourself so you start paddling. Paddle that bike. Keep yourself up. How your body reacts to singing, y'all. Singing joyful or expressive songs can nourish the heart, balance emotions, and uplift your spirit. It's all about singing. Music. Yeah. Singing helps expand the lungs and improves oxygen intake. Singing helps regulate emotions like frustration, anger, and stress. Singing Singing can strengthen kidney energy by fostering vocal expressions. And that just keep you some songs on you when you run out of your mama's music, honey. Sing our theme songs. I love to use Good Times. Everybody loves Good Times. Everybody know Good Times and stuff. Even if the young kids don't, they're going to go home and they're going to find out. Whoever with them go, oh, you don't know Good Times? Yeah, y'all have a good, it's going to take them back. Just that glimpse of a moment. But when they get home and stuff and y'all watch an episode of Good Times and stuff, go back there. Watch Good Times with your babies. There's no reason our children should still be watching Peppa Pig, that big-headed baby with that business suit on, boss baby. There's no reason our baby should still be watching them. When you still can go to Bounce. YouTube got all the episodes back to back if you must. While you doing their hair and stuff, yeah, let them look at Rudy. Yeah, Rudy Huxtable. Put on the Cosby Show. 227. It's a lot of them. You know, I'm just saying, Good Times. What else is? You got a whole lot of things you can put on for our babies and stuff. You just putting on what they said and look at because you know it puts them in a trance. And so we become comfortable with that. But that's doing them a damage. That's doing them a damage and stuff. Ain't nothing that we doing on social media. If it ain't telling us what we need to be gathering and getting together, it ain't worth it. If you ain't scrolling and looking for stuff that's telling you, get your garden going. Get your hydration system going. Get your, I don't know. Get your water filtration system going. Get your canned goods and stuff up. If you ain't scrolling looking for stuff like that, you wasting your motherfucking time. You wasting your time. Now, I don't know if these folks finna say they done fixed the tariff situation and stuff, but you got to stay on course, Black America. Don't get yourself out here and get caught up. Don't get yourself out here and get caught up riding for somebody else and stuff because ain't nobody riding for you but your people. But I'm finna let us go because it's 2:12 on the clock. I love y'all. I thank you so much. And I'll see you tonight. I will go through these books and see. I ain't even went through all of them. I got to unpack some of them. And then I'll see what we're going to start reading next. Or maybe we'll just give some devoted time to our gardening stuff. You might have a few days to go get your gardening supplies and equipment and stuff, you know, that you're going to use. And we do it together. Hey, Map Drawer. Because, yeah, I'm going to put my garden back on the porch probably tomorrow. I'm going to go on and leave it in today because it's windy. I got 2 big trees out here, y'all. I can't wait to hook them. And I don't want it to blow my stuff over. After yesterday, my cucumbers fell over. And so I don't know if they're going to resprout. I might have to do them again and stuff. But we'll see. But I love you. Peace and power to the people. And thank you, Map Jordan. You gave us some more songs. And Cow Dog. It's so good to see y'all. Yeah, all those who are complicit, seen and unseen. The monkeys are running the country into the ground and are carrying the station in and outside of it. Don't bet on me. I know that's right. Don't worry about them people, what they doing. Don't worry about them. Oh, my address. I'm going to go check it. But let me put it on here. I probably need to go check it. I will. I think this is it right here. I ain't been there. I don't know why I got to get back on track with stuff. Because, yeah, I just be taking on a whole lot of stuff. Yep. Taking on a whole lot of stuff. I just be trying to multitask because I will multitask. But when I do that and stuff, like reading more than one books and then starting different projects at a time and stuff, I'm tempted to forget stuff too. So, yeah, it's a gift and a curse. But I love you and I see you all tonight and we'll come up with what we're going to do next so that we can keep moving forward because we ain't going back. We ain't going back. Not me.